Good morning. We're going to be exploring the zebra. Although we're not going to be coloring it in black and white, we're going to be making it like a rainbow color, as you can see in this sample. So I just wanted to give a little bit of background on zebras before we start. So these are the plains zebras. Hi, Moochie. Every zebra has a different pattern of stripes. These act as identification marks, as zebras live in family groups of about a dozen animals. Each zebra knows all the others and recognizes them, even from a distance. A herd of 10,000 zebras as hundreds of such groups, and although the herd may be migrating, the families keep their positions in relation to one another. Every day, the lead stallion of each family checks that all is well by visiting and greeting the stallions of other groups. He may make as many as 30 such visits in a single day. A zebra foal is brought into the family group soon after it is born, but for the first few days, the mare prevents the others from having close contact with it. After this, it begins to walk and play with the other young zebras. The mother feeds and grooms her foal, and it in turn nibbles at her coat. It is thought that mutual grooming of this sort is the basis of the strong affection that exists between members of a zebra group. At about 2 years of age, a filly foal is grown up and leaves her family. She may join several other groups briefly before settling down with a stallion, with whom she will probably spend the rest of her life. Colt foals remain with the group, even after they are mature. They often seem to have a special bond of friendship with their fathers, though they do eventually leave, and sometimes to join a bachelor group of young males, and finally to become the lead stallions of a family of their own. Okay, well, we've got company. He always likes to be around when I do my art class for some crazy reason. So we're going to need a pencil, an eraser, and a Sharpie marker. This is going to be part 1 of a 2-part zebra series. So grab your pencils. We're also going to be using the multimedia paper that we've been using, 7 by 10. And that's a great size for this project, I think. So I'm going to move this aside. So I'm going to use a marker. You're going to start off with pencil at first so that we can do your sketch. And if there are any parts that you're not happy with, you can go back in and make adjustments. So around the center of the paper, we're going to make a curve line, a top curve line for the top of the eye. And you're going to then curve under. And then we're going to make a partial circle within that area. And then at the top part, we're going to be coloring that in and then leaving a white space to show the reflection of light. And in the front corner of the eye, you're going to make just a short diagonal line. Okay, so just above, you're going to make a guide dot, and we're going to start the ears. So from that guide dot, you're going to take a line going at an angle going up for the back part of the first ear. And then we're going to take another. Much of this project is very angular, very geometric. So just keep that in mind, especially for the stripes that we're going to be adding to the zebra's body. And this is a stylized version of a zebra, not realistic, but more of a simplistic style. And then you're going to take a short line coming in at another angle, and then you're going to make a double line inside that line that we made for the first part of the ear. So that's right inside, just a little bit of space in between. And then we're going to add some angle lines for the hair. Just coming out from this inside of the ear. All right, so right close to the middle, you're going to take a short line, another diagonal, and then we're going to take a line going up. And you want to make sure it's not any taller than the first line that we made for the first ear. And then we're going to take a line coming again at a diagonal. So we're going to go to the end of this short line and then just basically create the detail, the basic shape of the ear, again with the fold on the inside of the back part of the ear. Okay, now right in front of the hair, we're going to start to draw the front part of the head. So we're going to make a pretty lengthy line for the front part, and we're going to do the muzzle to the zebra's nose and his nostril. Again, keeping in mind that we're making a lot of angular lines for this particular project. And we're going to do just the basic outline for the rest of the muzzle on our zebra. And then we're going to make a curved line for the jowl. And if you look, where is it in relationship to the eye? So you're going to stop, and it's really not very far from the end of the eye. So if you take your finger and run it down at an angle, then you can kind of make your adjustment if you need to go back in and make any changes. Now, for the back of the head, we're going right behind the ear, take a curved line coming down at an angle, and let's see, I'm just going to bring that up a little bit. Okay. And then we're going to make a series of kind of spiky lines, some that are wide, some that are very narrow. And this will create the fur on the back of our zebra's neck. And you can see we're kind of going in the direction of that curved line, as you can see, and we're following it down. And the closer to the back of the mane, and you may not have the room to get all of the spikes on to the back of the head. That's okay, because we're just doing part of the zebra's body, not all of it. And so we're going to go right to the middle of the front part of our zebra's front part of his head. And you're going to take a line, and you're going to take that and then slight curve to the end of your paper for the back side of his body. And since, like I said, we're not doing the entire body, you will go right down to the very bottom of the paper. So imagine this to be the back side of our zebra and his tail, not fitting that in, and then the thigh at the bottom of our paper. And then we're going to make the legs. So you don't see all of the legs, but we do see part of the legs. Look at the angles of the lines that I'm making. Okay. Okay, and then kind of do a check to make sure they're not too skinny. And that's all we have of the legs so far. So really we don't have much room on this side of the paper, but we're gonna try to fit in a little bit of the body and come right down to the bottom of your paper. So you can see this is all that we have that will fit in. I think the focus really being on our zebra's face and parts of the body. So let's start adding some angle lines on the face. And we've got some kind of very skinny lines, all geometric, that will be adding to the head. And these geometric shapes are definitely going in different directions and kind of framing the face. Now it doesn't have to look exactly like mine, and you can see the different directions that these start to take. These lines are coming kind of towards the back part of the head, and then the lines will switch. And they're going to kind of frame the side of the head. We're going to go back up on the forehead and add our angular lines. So the one thing I want you to pay attention to are the direction of these patterns that I'm creating on our zebra. And now we're going along the back of the neck. And if you have any extra space, a lot of empty space, add a couple more geometric shapes onto the head. So basically this has pretty much been filled up, as you can see. And we're going to add some more. And some will kind of take a turn, as you can see on the one I've just done. And I'm working along the back part of my body. And it's okay, you can finish your stripes just before you get to the end of your head. So now I'm just going to start to kind of work along the chest area. And then, as you can see, these are going to kind of, some areas will get a little skinnier. Definitely a good idea to do this in pencil first. I'm doing it in marker because it's easier for you to see. But definitely you can follow along with your pencil as we develop the details on our zebra. Some can go right off to the side of the leg. And down to the edge of your paper. So you can see how on the face, they follow the direction of the front part of the head, and then they start to kind of go at a diagonal. These are going at a slight diagonal. And now they're kind of working their way along the chest area of the zebra. And then I'm taking my lines and coming down at a diagonal. And you can go right up to the leg. All right, so I'm gonna go underneath the muzzle. As you can see, I didn't add any on the muzzle of my zebra. All right, and I'll just finish this part, and then we'll stop for the meantime. We'll stop for the rest of the day. And as you can see, don't make them all the same size. They vary in size. And they don't have to all look exactly like mine. Okay, so once you're done, I know it's a lot of detail, but really fun. I want you to take your eraser, clean up any pencil lines that you have existing. Sorry, Moochie, or Mookie, sorry. And then if you haven't gone over in marker, do so now. Okay, and don't forget, hold it down with one hand while you're erasing so it doesn't bunch the paper up. And what I want to do before I go is I just want to thicken this line a little bit more to emphasize the outline of my zebra. I'm going to thicken the line over the eye. Okay. All right, well, going back in next week, we're going to be adding some watercolor. You can also use tempera paint. You could use crayon. You could use color pencils. It really, it's really up to you. But I I think I'm choosing watercolor because I have a nice assortment in my palette, and I really want to make this as colorful as possible. Okay, so meantime, have a great rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you.